who might really be impacted by not having parking, overnight parking there.
Going back to the area that we want to connect with letters. So the feedback that I heard, so our practice has been to cover like one block, kind of a one block either way, north and south and east and west of the construction zones. So the feedback that I remember hearing from Lake Drive was to increase that to, they chose to.
I said increase, but
And who was it that chose that?
I asked for it to be increased. I think staff, I think the administration chose it.
Suggested two. Okay, so
Correct.
doubling that. So could we double it, could we use that measure for the Wilson area too? And instead of doing one block, do 2 blocks in?
I think when staff proposed Wilson, Morris, we did it because of traffic patterns, because there's a very odd geometry there.
Yeah.
So that if you're kind of mid-block, we were trying to look at it, if I need to go west,
Yeah.
how far east do I have to go before
You can.
Wilson isn't the obvious way?
Yeah.
And that was kind of how we picked Morris as the, all these people
So I should,
should get it.
right, the letter.
And
So that's, aren't we agreed then?
it's too, yeah.
Yes,
We
that's
have
very,
to-
but that's
let's
very.
move on if we're
that's
finishing
very
at 10
expensive.
o'clock tonight.
Let's
That's
go.
very expensive. I mean, that's probably
But I'm not clear. because
more
we
than
don't have
500
7%.
homes, so that's $1,000 to send a letter to everyone west of Morris. I mean, I think that's great, but it's probably a minimum of $1,000.
I wouldn't disagree.
Yeah, I agree.
Right, so.
So, and is it the entire length, because I know we discussed this last time, and this is kind of setting a little bit more of a precedent for our arterials.
All the way down to Capitol.
Is it the entire length of Wilson?
Oh, that's like 1,500 people. I mean, that's, yeah. But that's fine. I'm okay.
I don't know how we can reach those people without spending the money.
Yes.
That's
Right,
why
we either don't reach him or we spend the money.
Well, it's a lot cheaper to just to do a garbage car fire.
But we won't reach the vast majority of them with the garbage truck.
Right.
Okay, like that's a good, it's the letter to that area is a good solution. And worth the extra cost, it sounds like. Okay, so I didn't.
Oh, that's
interrupt,
okay. We had
for the
mentioned last
purposes
time.
of-
I'd like to have an update on the cost to like count the number of immigrants.
So would I.
Okay. Rebecca, can you
Okay.
clarify for me, because the last meeting we talked about for arterials, you know, I made the suggestion, and we only have 3 or 4 in the village, that we would do the entire length of the, and it gets, the reason I'm asking is it gets to the next file. So in this situation, and I'm suggesting for other arterials that are major arterials in our village, we have 4, that we do the 2 blocks or whatever is decided on the entire length of the project of the road.
Well,
And I don't know if that's what we're going to do.
When we get to that?
I'm just asking, is that what we're doing here?
No.
It's just that we were
I
doing
think
that.
Yes, we are. We're doing Morris all the way to Capitol.
Well, no, we're doing that, we're not discussing the future.
We're doing
Yeah, I think this is
Morris
specific
all the
to
way
Wilson. Yes.
From Glendale to Capitol.
Right.
All the way.
We're
For a
doing
full
that. All those
reconstruction.
houses are getting a
So
letter.
the full reconstruction likely won't happen again for another.
Right, changing the
7%.
lanes.
I think you could reasonably shift that west to Woodburn, and knock off, you know, a couple blocks that way. I don't think it's a dramatic change. We can price it out both ways.
I'm not, I mean, if you're on Bartlett or Newhall, I mean, what do you, and you're going west, I mean, I don't, I mean, would you also end up going to Wilson from Bartlett and Newhall?
I'm hearing that there's consensus that you'd like to do an individual mailing, correct?
Why don't you come back?
So
to
why
us?
don't we come back with some options, because I'm, as you're talking, you're bringing up good points, and I think the really large area is, it's a lot. We can price it out, but I think maybe looking at some pared down options may also be beneficial. I think at the end of the day, we want to know that we're on the same board with the mailer, and that we all had agreed on the location of where it's being distributed, so that you know what's happening before it happens.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
And that works timeline, so we're not cheating ourselves out of like
getting it out at the right time by
No,
not making that decision?
no, we're gonna try to come back to ASAP so we know when forgets about the conversation.
I would like a recommendation on what the motion might sound like.
Okay,
We have a motion and a second on the floor.
But wait.
His motion was just to pass the communication plan, and we've discussed many changes to that
Right,
communication.
and we don't have a cost, I want to go back to the
I agree.
communication
Yeah,
plan, which is the
motion.
motion. There are costs, other than the mailer, and I don't know what they are, but if we are adopting a communication for a plan for a project, there are costs associated with, writing an article for Shorewood Today, there are costs associated with, some of these things, so in the future, I guess, or maybe when you come back to us, if we can just identify, the file is the communication plan, and there's an associated estimated cost, and I just would like to know what that is.
Trustee Sullivan?
I might suggest that we just table items D1 and 2 and bring them back next time, when we can do it all at once. The plan and get the numbers, rather than do the plan now and come back with numbers, because what it sounded like, the two of you were agreeing to was to do some additions and amendments to the motion to make it more complicated than I think it needs to be. And I think we've got it.
I will say I hesitate to table this because it could be the repeat of this discussion.
No, I don't
No,
think
I
it
don't
would be
want-
though, if we commit not to have a repeat, I just want to know the physical impact.
I think it's easy enough for us to bring
Okay.
the fiscal impact following the
Yeah,
meeting.
Okay.
I would
Because I
rather,
think there's agreement that we're gonna proceed, it's just clarification, so we're on the same page.
right.
Of the mailing, right? Not every writing.
Not everything for the
every
mailings.
step thinking about it.
But
The
it's-
village-wide mailing and, the project area specifically.
Right, I do, but for the fiscal note, if there are other fiscal impacts.
Yeah, so I don't know off the top of my head, we can take a look at the plans, and I like the point that you're bringing up, because, but I'm also suggesting that we use these two projects as ways to, for the first time, estimate what those costs are. So we're gonna learn together as we go through, so the mailings are the first ones that come to mind. If there are other things, we'll continue to update the plan, because when we do our look back with them, then we'll take a look at what our effectiveness was in all the other areas and what the costs were. And then that will give you more information, better and less perceived, more actual information in terms of how to tailor your communications differently moving forward.
So when we do a look back analysis, we'll say this was the cost.
Yeah, and like, oh, by the way, this worked well, this didn't. So maybe the next time we try it this way. That's why getting so specific,
I don't know
becomes
about the
challenging.
method, we can do that, I'm just saying about the cost.
Yeah.
If I do something that just says, this is plan,
Yeah,
So
it's
can
a
we,
great idea.
can we move ahead with the motion as stated right now, knowing that we're coming back, or do we have to make any comments to the motion?
I would wait.
Just give me a second.
I would think while we're waiting, I'll fill in the silence.
Not necessary, Paul.
From my perspective, if we don't have all the information now and we don't wanna table the whole thing, then let's just approve the plan now with the understanding we're gonna come back and fill in all those blanks that already.
Right. I just
Fill in the
want to make
blanks,
sure
but-
that the motion
Maybe
is
fill in the
doing
fiscal
what
impact.
exactly what you're saying.
I have
The
to
plan
vote on
doesn't
that.
say, we're gonna do a combined postcard.
I-
The plan, no, because other times when I've suggested things and it's come back and I've been told that board adopted the plan. So I'm not willing to adopt a plan that's gonna then be given to me as, we can't change it because we adopted a plan.
The plan that we're adopting doesn't get to that level of specificity. The beauty is that it doesn't get to that level of specificity.
It says we're gonna send a letter
There you go.
notifying people.
But
It says issue public info meeting invitation.
And it also, the memo
It
asks
doesn't
us.
say anything about a village-wide postcard.
I have a question. Are you two not, how can we get you to be on the same page with us on this? Because I'm hearing that you guys want to make sure that everyone's informed. and that people get this information. They have multiple right, but are you gonna vote not to do it in the future because it
No, I'm gonna
costs
vote
too
for it.
much?
No, I'm gonna vote
Then
for it.
I don't know why you wouldn't vote for it tonight, why you can't.
Because,
Well, I think we
because
might.
what's written here does not reflect the discussion we've had. What's written here is something that is not, that doesn't talk about any of the things I thought we have all agreed to. That's not what's written here. So I'm not willing to adopt this because it doesn't reflect this.
So, I mean, we could just include the points that we've talked about
Yeah.
tonight.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
because they're gonna be similar to both.
Yeah.
And just bring them back with the estimates of what we think it will be.
Great.
I still want a fiscal note, but you can do that, that'd be fine.
Well, no, we would do fiscal note or comment on
Yeah.
whatever the mailers were.
And
Okay.
same
Report
message.
back.
The mailers, the mailings.
So, the motion,
Well, we have a motion to approve the Wilson Drive communications plan, which has a first and second, of which has not been voted upon. So at this time, I would respectfully request that it be withdrawn.
Okay.
Bring it back.
Okay?
and bring it back when?
Next time.
For the next meeting. Leanne, is it possible for you to get those costs and map generated? I think so.
Yeah, I'd rather do it all at once than.
And,
I hope it's not gonna take an hour at the next meeting.
You know it will.
I'm sorry.
I would also then move to table item 62.
Sure.
The Lake Drive resurfacing communication.
But I think we ought to have a little discussion on that right now, so
I
staff
would
knows
very-
which
I
way
would
to
agree
go
with
on.
that. Yeah.
What are the points of consideration on this?
So with the, yeah, so we're switching gears, now we're switching to
Lake Drive.
Lake Drive.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna request a bio break before we go on to another agenda item. I understand we're gonna be done by, are we really
We're
gonna?
gonna be done by
hurry up?
10.
Yep.
If we're not done by 10, we're quitting.
Hold it,
And
Jess.
pulling-
I'll send you my hermatologist.
Okay.
Yeah, you need to know the consent agenda, would that be deferred then at the end?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, for Lake Drive, we had talked about the fact that the public's,
Oh,
and Paul, I'm sorry, do you want to leave?
No, go.
The pedestrian and bike committee had made a recommendation before in the past. So there was some discussion about, and that Public Works has made recommendations on large public works projects as well. So we need to be, the suggestion was to include them within the scope of the project.
Go ahead, Paul. Go ahead.
Trustee Rosa brought up, and I completely agree, that we need a touch before we go to the public meeting. So that we're not hearing the information for the first time at the public meeting and the discussion. We will not have made a decision. Because part of our decision is based on the consultants, the finance, the technical, the public head and bike safety, but also based on public response.
With that.
And with that, I was thinking about that in the technical consult. But what we want to do is modify this slightly to put into this communication plan that touch. That sometime between the consultant doing their work and communicating with WISDOT and all that stuff, but before it goes to the public meeting, that we'll receive some report.
I think it was between, can I clarify really quick?
Yeah, please do.
What was suggested, and I think was agreed upon, but we can modify if necessary, was between when the ped and bike, what typically happens is that the committee, any committee, public work, public art, ped and
The
bike.
citizen committee.
Yeah, the citizen committee, thank you, the volunteer committee, makes a recommendation, and before it gets to the board, or necessarily even to the public, it goes to a committee. It's talked about on large projects, and then we take it, everyone's informed, and we take that to the public. And then afterwards, we come back and have a vote. But I think that's the spot we talked about. Is there,
Okay.
I
So-
think that's a great idea. Do you need our consensus on that, or?
No, we're just gonna table it now.
Unless you had a
Oh, I have-
contrary and you want
I have
I have more information, more questions, but.
So the costing is gonna be a joint, you're gonna costing for the rest of the lake is a joint mailer.
Correct. We're gonna cost for Lake in the combined mailing, and then also on Wilson, the individual. So
And what
what-
lake will there be, individual one
A
lake?
$100 estimate was already provided for Lake.
Okay, good.
Okay, so let me clarify now that we're at Lake. If we're gonna do a joint mailing, we've decided on Wilson as an arterial that will touch most people in the community, and parkers and walkers to the, and this is very similar, going to the bike path, going to the lake. It's a very similar touch, and so I'm just, is it the whole, so the postcard is gonna be mailed to Wilson, the entire stretch of that arterial, to blocks. And in Lake, I'm assuming we do the same thing.
I believe that the map provided to you on Lake had those properties south of Capitol.
Right, and I disagree with that. I feel very strongly that we have 4 arterials, and if you live on Lake, whether you're, exactly